Matt, it's of course, we're in the middle of another busy week. How is yourself and the lads feeling after Tuesday night's game?
Pretty positive. I mean, we take the second half performance into what's next, and that's obviously the huge game, which is this weekend. You look back on Tuesday, and we were disappointed with our first half display, and I said after the game we were lucky to get in level. But then the way we played second half gave us real hope and real positive thoughts going into this weekend. The players have needed a couple more days to rest and recuperate, and then we'll give them a simple game structure and a simple plan going into this weekend. And it'll all be about execution, be all about getting ahead and getting in front of this game, and attacking it from minute 1 to minute 95, and giving it all we've possibly got, and then we'll see where we are after the game.
Obviously, Robbie Wilmot's unavailable because we're facing his parent club, but did we come through Tuesday unscathed?
Yes, as far as I'm aware, a few tired bodies, a few tight bits and pieces, a few bumps and bruises, but nothing serious. Obviously, Robbie being unavailable for this weekend's a blow because he's a good attacking player and one we've used well recently. So it's we're almost one short in that respect, but it's another opportunity for the rest of the group to put on a performance. And like I say, just go at it all guns blazing this weekend, all adrenaline, all power, all pace and all intent. But understand as well that we only need one moment and one moment to get ahead. And that moment doesn't have to come straight away. It'd be great if it did, but to also to manage your game and understand the needs of the game this weekend, we'll need some level heads, something we didn't quite have in that first half on Tuesday night, but some level heads and a little bit of experience out there, a little bit of physicality, but also players who can execute in those big moments.
For the last few weeks now, we've been just outside the playoff places chasing Newport. I think it's important to stress the importance of this game on Saturday, that with a positive result, we will be in the playoff places.
Yeah, I think would be down to our goal difference if that happens. But we kept close to it. We were not performed particularly well, and we've not picked up the results we've obviously wanted to. But we've kept close enough to it, and it all comes down to this weekend. And whatever the result, then we'll have a better idea what we need going into the last 3 games of football. And it's a game which you'd expect a full house. So it's such a shame no one will be there to witness it live. But the players have got to put that to one side and to understand the magnitude of the fixture. But Newport will be in exactly the same situation. They've experienced these games in the past. We've got some players who have had experience of these big fixtures in the past. So they know what to expect. They know what's riding on it. And it'll be a tight, cagey affair. But we've got to release the players, and you talk about the size of this game, and we can't hide away from that fact. But the players have just got to release the shackles, so to speak, and really attack what's in front of them, whatever that action is which is in front of them. Keep attacking it, put their best out there, and try and perform on the day. And like I say, whoever performs on the day in relation to the two teams will hopefully come out on top.
I believe you managed to watch some of Newport's game on Tuesday night, which I think went well into 100 minutes. What strengths have you seen from Newport from that game?
I've watched it all. The beauty of modern day technology is that the following day you can access every game which was played the night before. So I've watched the whole of that game. We watched the game on Saturday. Our head of recruitment, one of our members of staff, was at their game 2 weeks ago against Carlisle. So a team we know pretty well. We seem to have played them a lot in the last few seasons, whether it's through the leasing trophies and obviously the league fixtures. Someone we've come up with time and time again. They've always been close affairs and tightly contested fixtures. So I don't think there'll be too many surprises from Newport or ourselves this weekend in relation to formation and personnel and moments on that pitch. But they're a team of hardened campaigners at this level, hence why they're in the playoff positions. But we've got to have the expectation that we're at home and we've got to make the run in this game. But we can't leave ourselves open to counter-attack. That would make the challenge even harder if we went behind in this game. So we've got to understand what's needed to start this game and a little bit of being pragmatic in terms of our approach. But as the game wears on, we're going to have to take more and more risks if the scores are level, and we fully understand that and we're preparing for that.
You've mentioned it in a few games previously, that the side are tired, there's some lagging legs out there. The fact that we've only got to make one long journey now, and we've got 3 or 4 games at home, fitness-wise and tiredness-wise, that must be a positive for you.
Yeah, everyone can see what the players are like. I can't hide away from that fact. But the fact that Tuesday didn't involve too much travel we're grateful for that. So players have had a couple more days rest, and like I say, we're barely training at the moment. We're not wrapping the players in cotton wool, but we're barely training. So all the energy they have is put out onto a match day and in that environment. But I don't think we can use fatigue as an excuse this weekend. because when it's such a game of such stature and such importance, you just run through brick walls. And we're going to have to do that this weekend and keep going from minute 1 to minute 95. And then the substitution, you have to make a huge impact off the bench. Something we've worked towards in the last couple of games without it really coming off in those last few moments. But we're going to have to keep freshening it up. And like I say, it all depends on what the scores are at half-time, 60 minutes, 70 minutes. But we'll certainly be making changes earlier than we have done in recent weeks, because it's a game where we have to win and we have to pick up 3 points.
Finally then, if mentioning Newport County, I think we have to look back to February and that game in South Wales. I mean, if we put in another gritty, determined performance like that, hopefully with less red cards, then it should be an interesting game.
Yeah, I mean, it feels so long ago now. You look back and Alex getting sent off early and then going ahead with 10 men and looking like we were playing pretty well, and then Ryan getting sent off. But let's be honest, we speak about the fatigue in the camp. There was periods where we were getting too many sendings off. And not only were we without players for a certain period of time, but even in those games, it was such a big effort for the players who were left on the pitch. But what that group of 9 men plus the substitutes did that day was incredible. And they channeled an inner connection between each other that night. And they'll need that this weekend. We have to be connected. We have to be together, something we've been all season. But sometimes when your back's against a wall and you've got 9 men, you've got no other option. You have to be like that. And that's our mindset going into this weekend. We have to be together. No matter what happens, we've got to try and keep 11 players on that football pitch. You saw in the week there were sendings off in a lot of games. And that's pressure taking its toll. Hence why I've mentioned about having clear heads this weekend.